episode 14 of Birkenwasser Knits. I'm Katriine Birkenwasser, and in this episode I'm going to talk about my latest design, this Topaz sweater that I'm wearing and that I designed for the Jewels collection by Making Stories. And I'll take you to downtown Helsinki while I talk about the inspiration behind the design, and then I'll of course show you what I'm working on at the moment. But let's start with this Topaz sweater that I'm wearing, and actually this one that I'm wearing right now is my prototype for the design. So this is something that I often do, is that I make a prototype and then I notice that there's something that needs to be changed, and then I knit the sample from the beginning. Of course, in this case it was also because this was for the book, so I was supposed to knit the sample in model size and not my own size, and also in the colors that was picked by the makers of the book. But I wanted to see first how the idea works out I mean, I did make a swatch for like a little piece of the yoke, but then I wanted to see how it works if I make a full-size yoke. And well, after you've made the yoke for this one, then there's not that much left to knit. I mean, then it's plain stockinette stitch for the rest of it, so it's not that much. But here's the sample pictured in the book, and let me just show you a nicer picture. So these are pictures by Ricarda Schuler Photography, and I just love the amazing work that she did with these pictures. But this design, it's a top-down sweater, a round yoke design, and it features this rich colorwork pattern on the yoke. It means you will have to do colorwork with 3 colors at a time, so it's maybe not your first colorwork yoke, but after some practice it's really not that difficult. And so the inspiration for this design comes from Penrose tiling, and I actually called the working name for the sweater was Penrose Gemstones, as I figured it's like gemstones scattered around the yoke, and they are all in the Penrose tile format. And Penrose tiles are actually really cool well, here you can see some symmetry, but it's possible to make like aperiodic tiling with these simple shapes. And the first time I learned about it was when they put Penrose tiles in downtown Helsinki on a pedestrian street. So let me take you to see how that looks. Welcome to downtown Helsinki. I'm standing here at the corner of Kaivokatu and Keskuskatu, and you can see Helsinki Central Railway Station there behind me, and right next to me is the Atheneum Art Museum, and in front of me is Keskuskatu, which could also translate as Central Street. So I'm really in downtown Helsinki, and the reason why I wanted to bring you here is because I wanted to show you I'm wearing my Penrose tile sweater, and you can see that I'm also standing on Penrose tiling. So let's have a closer look at that. So here's the Penrose tiling on the street, and this street is also where I first learned about the Penrose tiling. So you can see it's really much cooler than your regular any kind of street tiling with squares or rectangles. As you can see, it just continues and continues, but there is no repeated pattern. So it's all, you can take any part of the tiling and transfer it on any other part and it will not match. So that's what's so cool about it. And you can see it's the same two shapes that are repeated. So this is the kite shape. You can see here. That's the larger shape, and then there's the dart shape, which actually here in the tiling, it's actually made of 3 pieces, which I guess have something to do with cutting bark. But still, you can see that it's the dart shape, and that is repeated and combined with the kite shape to create all these interesting patterns. So this was when I first learned about Penrose tiling, and I think I had the idea that it would be nice to use it on something, and then I don't know even when I decided to see if that would go for a round yoke design, and I think it worked really well. So I would have loved to just continue adding and adding and adding, but I guess once you reach the underarms, then you just have to quit and think that that's enough tiling for one sweater. So there's quite a bit of stranded knitting to do before you reach the armpits. So yeah, I'm sure you'll enjoy working on it. So it's really nice to see how the tiles just go on top of each other. And of course, while you can't really draw that detailed things when you have to knit what you draw, so they are not exactly the same shapes, but the idea is that like here, everything that is shaped red is the same shape, and everything that's green is the same shape. But of course it varies a little bit when you turn them around in knitted in a knitting, then it doesn't really work that well. But I think it's cool, and it's maybe something from my engineering background that makes me like things such as Penrose tiles. But anyway, I hope you also like this design. You don't have to know anything about Penrose tiles, but if you're interested, check it out on Wikipedia. You'll just get a quick overview of what it means, and maybe you can get some ideas for your own stranded color work or something else. So that would be worth taking a look, and I'll add a link to the this episode link list so you can find it easily. Yeah, then I mentioned that this was what I made my first sweater with. So this was the colors that I had in my stash, and I made this prototype with these colors. And then there's a totally different look with the colors that were chosen for the book. So it's there the main color is dark blue, and then it has like this heathered pink and heathered green that go with it. So it's, yeah, it has a totally different look. And then if you look at, there's some amazing test knit projects already on Ravelry, so you can have a look at something that's again totally different. So that's one thing that I'm sure you will enjoy is picking the colors for this. So the pattern was originally designed for Topaz fingering, and they have so many color choices to work with, so it's really so much fun to choose your colors. And actually this Jules book also includes an article about choosing the colors for stranded color work. So Diana Walla wrote an article about how you can choose what colors to combine. And what I would like to add to that is that for example, in this work, it's really important that your main color is totally different from your two contrast colors, because it draws or outlines the tiles so you wouldn't want to lose that because of not enough contrast. And what I would recommend for you to do is to maybe knit a swatch, as of course you should always do, but then take a picture of the swatch and change that to black and white, and then see sorry, then have a look at the black and white picture of your swatch and see if you can still see the color work in the black and white picture, and that will tell you if there is enough contrast between the yarns that you are working with. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to seeing many Topaz sweaters. I know they're since the previews came on Ravelry, so many people have already queued this sweater, so I want to thank everyone for all the love that they have already given this design on Ravelry and on Instagram, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of color choices you make for your Topaz sweaters. Yeah, but let's have a look at what I'm working on now. It's not like I could just sit down and relax and enjoy having this one design out. I'm always working on something new, and let's have a look at what I'm working on at the moment. So here's my next colorwork yoke project. I think in a previous episode I showed you the beginning of the color work, but now you can see more of it, and those of you who remember my Arctic Blizzard socks might remember or might recognize this color work pattern. So I'm really just taking the sock pattern and transferring it into a round yoke design. So it's really fun to knit. You're starting to see the larger snowflakes, and we are really looking or waiting for snow here in Finland. We had first snow it snowed for 1 day, and actually that didn't even count as first snow, since I think the definition for first snow is that when they measure in the morning at 8 o'clock there has to be 1 centimeter of snow. And it was already, I think in the beginning of November we had snow, but it started snowing at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we ended up getting 2 centimeters of snow, but it all melted during the night, so next morning when they measured there was no snow. So officially we didn't get first snow yet this year, but we are really longing for snow here, and because it's really dark. I'm actually doing this or taking this video on my balcony because it's too dark to take any videos inside, so I have to sit here outside to be able to make a video. And yeah, if we got some snow it would be so much lighter outside. So now it's just dark and it's cold and miserable, and I think I'm enjoying seeing these snowflakes, if not on the street then at least in my knitting. So I'm gonna call this pattern Longing for Snow. But yeah, I think I'm soon gonna be finished with the color work, and then it won't be long before I have the rest of the sweater done, because then it's just super fast and easy to work the rest of it. And yeah, this is a collaboration with Lanitium X Machina, so I'm using Lanitium merino silk for this one, so that's also, I think it's gonna be really luxurious to wear. So this is actually a finished item already. So this is the second one of my faded collection. So this is a cardigan, and it has some brioche and garter stitch, and it's also a top-down design. So this is something that I'm going to be next writing the pattern, and then I'm going to be looking for test knitters. So if you're interested, I'll soon have some photos also, and I'll be making a testing call in my Ravelry group Birkenwasser Knits. So please, there's an earburn list, so if you're interested in test knitting, please join the earburn list, and you'll be notified once this one is ready for test knitting. So that's all for this episode, and I know that in the previous episode I said I would introduce you to my favorite model in the next episode, but it turned out it's not that easy to book an appointment with her when you tell her that it's going to be a video. So I still don't have that, but I'm hoping that's gonna be in a future episode. So I still want to show that sweater to you that I knitted for her, and I'm still working on getting her to model it on video for me. But in the next episode I will talk about the indie design gift along, which is like probably the most fun knit along / crochet along of the year. So join me next week for more information about the indie gift along, and please subscribe to my channel so you won't miss the next episode. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.